Hi, this is Damien from AtHope, and I wanted to do a little bit of a talking on practical philosophy. Now, I hear a lot of people talk about a lot of different things in philosophy, but to me, I really care the most about practical philosophy, or what I mean by that is an easily applicable to daily life methods of philosophy, styles of philosophy, or just persuasions of philosophy thinking that's beneficial to navigate ideas in your daily life. What I mean by practical is that it's easily used, that it's easily understandable, and it's beneficial immediately. Not like in some theoretical sense that we'll figure something out, in the future, or be able to analyze something, but a real method that allows us to navigate things in the here and now. And to me, that a lot of times it stems from deeper presuppositions, but these are not always necessary to know to utilize philosophy. So to me, the things I talk about the most are the philosophies that relate to my hammer of truth, which is basically ontology, or the thingness of things, in a sense. It's also about being and becoming. And you also have epistemology. And epistemology is about theories of knowledge, understanding what things are, or what can be explained, and the justifications or rationales or warrant for that. And then it's axiology, which is a value theory, and it's basically what do you value, what should you value, or what's valuable. And to me, when you put these all together, it allows you to, navigate truth better. And you don't need to understand these terms, to me, in a deep way to make them practical or usable. And that's one thing that I like about it is I really am not one who likes to think about philosophy, for its own sake. I more like it as a set of tools to analyze or quantify thinking and ideas, or just like someone does a justification. They're using generally some either direct evidence, or they're using reason and and logic to support the idea. So to me, it's that. As an atheist especially, it's that without evidence thing that makes, in a sense, philosophy so important. So with evidence, basically, you could just use a scientific method or some persuasion of scientific thinking. But when you don't have evidence, like the religions, are in that position of not having evidence, then to me, philosophy becomes extremely important, because then you're dealing with what is logical, what is rational, what, makes sense, and or what has justification. And to me, how I use philosophy is, in a more practical way, is one for a set of standards of how I approach things and analyze things, and then also to help me navigate other people's claims of truth. So when we start with ontology, you're starting with the thingness of things. So you're, in a sense, if you were to put ontology into a question in a simple way, you would ask somebody, what are you talking about? What is the thing or sets of things that you're referring to? And it's not like, to me, that I want a definition. I want, something that justifies its claim of a reality thing. So to me, a definition, while it can be, in a sense, not false or can have accuracy, a definition generally, to me, is more of a subjective, like Cliff Notes. It's like the shorthand version. It's not, in other words, if you looked in the dictionary under what is a whale, and it may tell you a few things, mammal and whatever, and but it's not going to help you understand what it looks like in a sense. Like I said, a large, underwater mammal or something. I don't know what it says, but I'm just making a comment that if they said that, if I showed you a bunch of pictures and you wouldn't be able to tell, in a sense, a killer whale, but from, a regular whale as to which one's a whale or a porpoise or whatever, you wouldn't have the bearing to totally know just by the definition. You would need a lot more than just a definition. I mean, what I mean is one found in the dictionary. Because they're going to give all of about, maybe at the most a paragraph to the explanation probably, and that's just not going to be enough to truly understand the full, weight of what would be a thing. So to me, when I'm asking for an ontology, I'm often not really asking you to give me your definition. I'm asking for you to explain something that is real, as if it is real with real qualities. So when you make a claim like there is a God, and I answer you by saying, what do you mean by a God? I'm not asking which God you say, myth that you're saying that you're, attaching your belief to. I'm asking you, what is this thing that you are talking about? What is its real qualities? What is its ontology? Now, there's arguments for theism that are called ontological arguments sometimes. But what they're doing is they're trying to explain that because of the real world or some sort of other nonsense, that it would have to be that a God was true. They're sort of trying to give it like a pseudo-ontology to me. Because you're trying to add something that is not in evidence. Something that does not show up in, as a reality thing. So to me, it's that you have to deal with. So that's what I'm asking for an ontology when I teach people to use ontology. You're using it like it's a weapon, in a sense that you're going after their statement, and you're like almost like a really deep investigation. You want to know all of its qualities. You're digging into it. And I don't allow people, when they say, I have a God or not, I don't allow them to just start adding extra qualities. Like they'll say, well, what's a God? And they'll say, oh, well, a God, is the creator of the universe. That's a title, and that would be a behavior or a something that was done if it was a thing. But that still would not tell me what you're claiming the thing that did. You're just saying some mysterious thing that you're terming God did these things. So to me, that's the first thing is to try to get, in a sense, a good ontology about things that you're dealing with. And then to me, after that, that's when, if I decide to let them pass that, because sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just demand an ontology of God, and I don't allow anyone to do anything other, and then the argument goes nowhere. But it does go to the point generally that the people themselves say, I can't answer that. But I love that because that's them admitting they don't know, that they are lacking the qualities available to the knowledge. I heard before some person tell me, oh, well, my pastor can explain it better. I'm like, so you believe your pastor who you believe has some sort of an extra ability to believe? Because you're not yourself then knowing. Because the claim was that they always say is they know a God. But if you know it, then you should be able to talk about it. Not just talk about these things you read in a book, because then you don't know it. You've read about it. You've read about this myth. Don't know it. And I love it when they admit that they don't know it. But see, speaking of knowing, that goes back to the epistemology, which I love sometimes when they get to that point, because then you can say epistemology. Well, what is it you do know? And how do you know that? Well, I know the Bible is, you don't know the Bible is. The Bible makes statements. You're just saying you believe it. Knowing would involve that you actually have some sort of an external knowledge. Which, of course, they claim, yeah, I have faith. What is faith? Faith is not something that is, universal among people. I mean, if you take anyone of any given faith and then you were to test them between, let's just say, 1,000 other people of that faith, yeah, you're not going to be like having only the one, uniform explanation. And that's what, to me, the epistemology helps expose, is that they don't, not only do they not know what they're talking about, they actually have no way of knowing that what they're talking about could be accurate. They're just believing it to be. That is a lot different thing. So to me, like I said, I'm just giving you like the real highlighted of these terms just to show their practical use. You don't have to make large things. In a sense, you could be ontology. What are you talking about? And every time they keep saying, I don't understand that. What are you talking about? And it says epistemology. I get to say, why? Well, why do you believe that? Why do you think that? I want to know, and then to me, then if I want to, I can take it to the axiology thing. This, why do I assume that what you're offering me is even valuable? I mean, does what they say? In other words, if I don't believe the Bible, am I going to have anything, happen to me in life? No. If I don't believe the Quran, am I going to have anything happen to me in life? Nope. Or the Bhagavad Gita, or any other holy book. So these things are abstracts. These things are not like you. It's not like if I don't eat today, or I don't fill up the car with gas, the car goes bad, or I stop. I start starving. No, religion's a fake idea, and it doesn't have any real world practical application. And people try to say, oh, well, these books have moral stories. Really? And they also have extremely more immoral stories, if you want to put it that way. It doesn't have some sort of a all good. It has many stories, and some of them are horrific. Just like it has many supposed moral laws in the Bible that are immoral on their face. Like the fact of saying that you can kill your children, if they disobey you. Or kill other people for having a different sexual orientation. Or killing people for having a different religion. And it's not like, the Bible, God didn't, justify that. He supposedly claimed that the land of, Canaan was all supposed to be, for the Jews. And so they could kill everybody they wanted that occupied the supposed land given by God. That's what you have to test. You have to do what God? What are you talking about? What Bible? What book? What do you... So to me, to using it in a practical way, like I said, just think of, to me, ontology would be like, what? What are you talking about? And then, epistemology, like, why do you believe that? How do you know that? And then axiology would tell me in the same thing, like, what are you saying that's of value? And how is it applicable? I mean, it's like they're selling this fake substance, in the reality of the world that doesn't have it. They're selling magic in the world, and obviously there is no magic. So to me, the religions themselves are the problem. They're pushing this fake pseudo-reality. To me, I feel that religions, and their theistic gods are just conspiracy theories of reality. They're just these fake notions. They're people working off of emotionalism, myths, and fears, not from reality and what's truly beneficial for human betterment or universal flourishing between humanity. And so, to me, what we need to do is use philosophy when there are times that they try to push these non-evident things as somehow that they can be valid. But I don't use things like that. I noticed one time someone said, "Oh, but you have faith in reason." Yeah, that's not true. Faith is believing